Is Sonic really serving pickle fries? Will Thor Love and Thunder be better than Thor Ragnarok? And what is a toxic slime drink? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello everyone and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus. Today is, of course, a very warm, sunny day here in northeast Louisiana. It is a whopping 80 degrees right now, which is... You know, they say summer begins on June 21st. That's like the calendar-specific day that summer begins. But for here in Louisiana, summer really begins at the end of April. Like, our summer is a lot longer than most other people's summers. You know, if you live like in a northern state or a more northern part of the world, you know, where it's more cold, or you live farther away from the equator, like, we're not on the equator, but sometimes it feels like we are, because, I mean, summer's going to begin now, and it'll be warm and hot all the way up until, like, October, going into November. Like, that's when our summer really kind of ends in, like, October for us, because that's when fall kicks in hard in September, October, and then it'll start to get cooler, and then we don't really have much of a spring and fall. It's really just like a summer into a hard drop into winter, and then right back into a spike going into summer. Like, we have like a week of spring and a week of fall, and that's it. Our spring break and our fall break, that's it. That's all we get. But it is very warm outside. Good day today, too. It's not raining. It's just very sunny. You know, I'd like to call this time of the year the calm before the storm, because this is the time of year right before when it's real nice, real sunny out, right before hurricane season starts, which is coming soon, which is not something to look forward to. Coming to a house near you, if you live in the South especially, is hurricanes, so you have to stay safe from all that. But speaking of a natural disaster, I want to talk about Sonic Drive-In for a second. Now, when I say natural disaster, I'm not talking about, well, this is for sure not natural, but it is a disaster. Sonic Drive-In, of course, everybody knows is my favorite place. I mean, this is literally episode 121, and I've probably mentioned Sonic on almost every episode that I've done, at least more than 100. Out of over 120 episodes, I've definitely mentioned Sonic at over 100 of them. Because it's just my favorite place, and, you know, they have monthly featured items on their menu, you know, from like the cake batter shakes or any of those like bacon jam hamburger, you know. Whenever they bring in something new, they like to bring it in towards like the last week of the month, and then going in like they brought in something new now. And I like the way that they're doing it now, where they'll bring in something new for the month of May, but for the last week of April, they have it as an app exclusive for only people who have the Sonic app. You can only get it through there. You can't order it off the menu at Sonic. You have to order it off your phone. And so they have something new, just to get down into it already. They have something new at Sonic right now, and it is something that I don't like. Just put it that way. So I'm actually going to go to the Sonic app right now and just read off what they have. It's 2 new items. They still, of course, have... My service is not good right now. They still, of course, have like the Red Bull slush, and they're serving normal Red Bull energy drink and the summer edition, which is strawberry apricot is the flavor. Well, they have that normal Red Bull slush, and then the Red Bull summer edition strawberry apricot slush as well. And then right now they currently still have the yellow cake batter shake and the brownie batter cake batter shake. I said that wrong. But they have the brownie batter master shake is what it's called. And then, of course, they have the bacon on bacon quarter pound double cheeseburger. which has got like tangy smoke sauce and your bacon and like more extra bacon too. So this new thing that I guess I'll start with the sides. So this new thing, it's a side and an actual burger is the new things for this coming month in May. So the first thing are called Pickle Fries. Now, if you've listened to a couple of episodes of listening to me talk, one of the things that you know that I don't like is, of course, mayonnaise. That is the devil's condiment. I do not like mayonnaise. Another thing that I don't really like is pickles. Now, I know there are a lot of people, that just can take the lid off the jar and eat the pickles right out of the jar. Or you can just drink the juice right out of the jar as well. I cannot do that. I don't like pickles, and we all don't like, I don't hate pickles like I hate mayonnaise. Like, mayonnaise is god-awful. I hate mayonnaise with a passion. But pickles, I like the really thin sliced pickles that are fried that you would get from like Texas Roadhouse or some type of restaurant, I like the real thin sliced fried pickles. Those are good. If they fry them good enough, they're juicy. They have that little bit of pickle taste that I don't really like, but it's okay. But just a raw pickle or pickle slices that are on a burger or sandwich, I don't like them. Like Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A sandwich is notoriously known to have pickles on it because all it is a chicken sandwich that has only pickles. Well, I take the pickles off. I don't like pickles. They're very acidic. I just don't like the flavor profile of them. There's nothing about like the texture or anything. It's just it does not taste good to me. And we all have something that doesn't taste good to us. And for me, it's pickles. I understand all of you, some of you may not like them. Some of you might like them, Another thing I don't like is tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes, but I understand a lot of people like tomatoes. And that's okay. Mayonnaise, I don't like mayonnaise, and I don't understand how some people can eat it. Like, mayonnaise is god-awful, but we all have that thing, where it's like, you don't like something, and you're okay with other people liking it. And then there's that thing that you don't like, and you're like, why would anybody like this? Well, why would anybody like this thing, of course, for me is mayonnaise. But everything else that I don't like, I kind of understand why people like it, like pickles. And so Sonic has introduced the Pickle Fries. Now, the way, if you can picture this in your head, imagine like pickle spears, but thinner and deep fried. And that's what these are. They're dill pickle. This is what the description on the app says, is that it's dill pickles cut into a fry shape and then fried to pickle perfection. You can get it in a small or medium order, and then it also comes with a ranch dressing little packet. And which, I mean, if I got that, I wouldn't even eat the pickles. I probably would just drink the ranch. Like, I love ranch. Ranch is so good. So, they have pickle fries now, which are just, they kind of look like fries, but they resemble pickle spears more. They're just thinner cut pickle spears, And so, that's what they have now. But the main thing that they have is called the Big Dill Cheeseburger. Now, what this is that I'll just read off what it is a brioche bun with a normal burger patty, cheese, lettuce, pickles, pickle fries, and a thing called Dilly Ranch. Now, I don't have a clue what Dilly Ranch is or what Dilly Ranch is made of. Like, I don't know what it tastes like. I don't know if it's just ranch mixed with dill or something. I don't know what it is. But the thought, that is my favorite word right now. My favorite thing to say is just Dilly Ranch, because it's just so funny. But you can't get Dilly Ranch on its own. Like, I want the pickle fries with some Dilly Ranch. Why can't I dip my pickle fries in some dill? Okay? I want the Dilly Ranch. Can I get Dilly Ranch at Walmart? Like, is this a thing I can actually buy, or is this a Sonic specialty? That Sonic was the first place to invent Dilly Ranch. Like, I don't know. But I'm not a fan of pickles. You can get the Big Dill Cheeseburger and Pickle Fries only on the app right now at Sonic. But the Big Dill Cheeseburger, I mean, it looks good, but it's just so much. Because it's got lettuce. Okay, that doesn't really have flavor, But it's got pickles that are normal pickles, pickle fries, and Dilly Ranch all on the one same burger. And that has got to be, it is very pickle forward. I have not had it, but I can imagine that as someone who doesn't like pickles, I would hate it. And that's why I don't want to try it. Like I would for this and for reviewing it and talking about it. But it's honestly, I have a better opinion about it not even trying it. I am saving Sonic and saving the essence of the Big Dill Cheeseburger by not eating it. That's what I want to do. I have had the pickle fries, and I will say this, that I don't like them because I bit into them, and the pickle fries from Sonic do not taste like a fried pickle from a sit-down restaurant like Texas Roadhouse or Walk-Ons or something else, These just taste like pickle spears that they just wrapped some crust around it and then served it to me. It did not taste fried at all. I probably could peel off the crust and it would still just be a perfect pickle. I bit into it. It was juicy, of course, because it's a pickle. I took one bite and I was done. And I spit it in the trash. I was not a fan of it because I don't like pickles. But if it's deep fried enough to get the crust and all the flavors into the actual pickle, I would have ate it. I did not even dip it into the ranch. But if you really like pickles, like if you can just go get a jar of pickles right now and pull one out and eat it, or drink the pickle juice straight from the jar, you would like the pickle fries and the Big Dill Cheeseburger. So if you want to go get it, I encourage you to go get it. You should really try it if you really like pickles. But if you don't like pickles, do not get this. Because I'm an advocate for Sonic and all, and I like this is intuitive. I like the idea of this. It's just someone as like myself who doesn't like pickles. That's why I don't really like it, Like if it was new, like when they brought back a root beer float, I love that because I love root beer, and I've never had one before. My first ever root beer float was from Sonic, and I've had one from like an A&W restaurant that we found up in Tennessee, and it was good. But the one from Sonic it's really good, and I never would have thought root beer and ice cream together would be so good, And it's really good. But like something like this, and that's my forte. I really love root beer, and of course everybody likes ice cream. But pickles is something I don't like. But if you like pickles, go for it. I encourage you to try. Go to your local Sonic. If they have it on the app, make sure you have the Sonic app and look on there. But it'll be available throughout the month of May, probably on the menu, so you'll be able to get it without the app. So yeah, Sonic's got pickles, and I am not a fan of it. So real quick, I wanted to get into some like real life news, not about me, of course, but some real, like, not entertainment news, but it is still a big deal. I wanted to mention about the Twitter buyout by Elon Musk. Of course, it's been all over the news. It's been everywhere. Is that Elon Musk is a advocate for free speech, which is your constitutional right, and he wanted to buy Twitter. He made the offer for around 43. I want to say it's $43 billion, and Twitter accepted it. And so now Elon Musk, in a short amount of I don't know, it's not going to be short, but in a certain amount of time from now until they actually transfer him 100% ownership of the company, he will then make it private, going from public to private, and he is going to try to make it equal for everyone, no matter your religious background, no matter whatever your political beliefs are. He wants to make it acceptable for everyone, which is, I'm all for it. I like free speech, I'm for that. And it doesn't really matter what your political beliefs are or your religious beliefs. as long as we can get along and have civil conversations with each other through a social media app to be able to keep track with, your favorite celebrities and see what they're doing, or any friends and family that you have on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So he's going to be doing some big changes. If you have a Twitter, it will be changed. If you don't have a Twitter, I don't really care. I mean, if you want to get it, you can. I'm not saying like you should. I have one just for the heck of it, kind of, and it's okay. I mean, I hardly ever get on it. I got on it more now just to see what Elon is tweeting, because he's making jokes, and he made this one joke. I have to mention it. And Elon Musk he tweeted out 19 hours ago of this right now. He said, "Next I'm buying Coca-Cola to put the cocaine back in." And Elon's my guy. Like, I love Elon Musk. He's so great, and he's so funny, and I mean, I like Tesla as well, and SpaceX and all that. And this dude is about to be, I mean, he's already one of the richest men in the world. And now he's about to own Twitter, which is one of the biggest social media platforms today and of all time, really. So it's like he already owns Tesla, SpaceX, and now going to be Twitter. So it's like, dude, you're going to own, like, Elon Musk is like a one-man Disney. Like, that's what he's becoming. He is Disney now, like, because Disney is starting to own everything, and Elon Musk is owning everything else. So, but yeah, Twitter did accept it, and Elon Musk will soon be the actual owner of Twitter, which is a weird thing to think about. So, I did want to mention this. Go into more entertainment news. It was announced by Skydance Studios, I think is the name of the company. Skydance Studios, who make like the Uncharted games, and I think that's all they make. They might make some other stuff. I'm not entirely sure what else they make. But like Respawn is a company who make some Star Wars games and all that we all know. But the reason I bring up Skydance Studios is Skydance New Media is who makes it. They make, they have this person who is in charge of it named Amy Hennig, and they just announced that they are working on a untitled, we don't know the title of it yet, Star Wars game. And I'm excited about it because now, ever since, because the way it works is that I'll explain is that Electronic Arts, which is known as EA, they made the Battlefront games. They made Battlefront and Battlefront 2 a couple years ago. Disney, who owns Lucasfilm, which is in charge of Star Wars, they only had one contract with EA, so only EA was able to make those games. But now when that ran out, now it comes to the point of certain gaming companies can now bid or get in certain contracts with Disney to make their own Star Wars game, as long as Disney's okay with it, So now, Disney, they're making so many Star Wars games with a lot of different companies now, because like we have this Skydance Star Wars game. There's a game called Star Wars Eclipse that I've talked about. There's going to be one made by Ubisoft. And it's going to be a story-driven open-world game, because they make Tom Clancy games. Ubisoft makes Assassin's Creed. So it's like they make a lot of different games. Ubisoft has a crap ton of games. There's going to be a strategy game that's going to be made, and then a first-person shooter, like your Call of Duty game where you're just seeing from the gun, They're going to make a Star Wars game like that, also made by Respawn, and Respawn's also making the Jedi Fallen Order games, and they're making a second one to the first Jedi Fallen Order. So Jedi Fallen Order 2 is going to be coming out at some point. They're making a remake of a game called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So it's like, I'm excited, because it's like we're finally getting to the point where Star Wars games are going to be coming out more frequently, and they're going to be good. Because the only Star Wars games that came out recently that I know of was Jedi Fallen Order, the 2 Battlefront games, and then they always make a crap ton of mobile games on the phone. And any game on the phone is usually not that good, because it's like, oh, we'll just do this and pump in microtransactions. That way, after you finish one level, we're going to always ask you, hey, you want to pay $3 for the battle pass, the game pass or whatever. That way you can get all this free stuff, that will make you go a couple levels better, Like, there's so many games that do that on the phone that's just stupid, But I'm excited for all the games, and all these companies better do Star Wars right, because I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. Like, it's all the movies are great, all the shows are great, except the sequels. They aren't that good. But everything, like, they're making games about stories in Star Wars that we haven't seen before. So it's like, that's really exciting to me. So on the other side of Disney, we have Marvel, and it has finally happened. Last week, it was officially given to us, the Thor Love and Thunder trailer. And I am excited. I think this movie is going to be so freaking good. I mean, if you haven't watched it yet, go to YouTube once you finish listening to this. Go to YouTube and look up Thor Love and Thunder. That trailer is so good. I can't wait for it. And like I said at the beginning, I honestly think that this movie could be better than Thor Ragnarok. In my opinion, this is just me, Thor Ragnarok is my personal favorite solo Marvel movie. It's funny, it's good. Thor he was remade from a less serious to more comedic character, but he's still so good. And I just like the character of Thor. Like, Thor is my favorite MCU character. Out of all the movies and shows that we've had, Thor is my favorite. And this movie's just going to be so good. And he's one of the OGs that's left, from the original Avengers, because Black Widow's dead, Iron Man's dead, Captain America's old or dead at this point. And it's like, the Hulk we haven't really seen yet. And Hawkeye had his own show, so Thor is the last of the originals, and he's getting another movie. And I'm so excited, because this is the 4th Thor movie, Thor 4, and Taika Waititi is back to direct it, because he directed Thor Ragnarok, and it's just going to be good. I'm excited for it, to see what's going to happen. Of course, I'll go ahead and mention Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness premieres in theaters next week. And when it is finally coming upon us, I've been talking about it ever since Spider-Man No Way Home released in theaters. And Doctor Strange is about to change everything in the MCU, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with all that. And so, with all that, currently, still talking about Marvel, the current series that is on Disney Plus with Marvel is Moon Knight. And I think episode 5 was this past week. I won't give any spoilers if you haven't watched the show yet. I will be giving a review of Moon Knight once the series is over. But this show is so good. Oscar Isaac, who plays Mark and Steven, he's such a great actor, and he's so into it. Like, he makes it so believable, and he's able to change personality on the fly. And it's just, I love the way they did it. It's so well done. And the show itself is just so good. Like, the story's good. It's interesting. But the thing is, like, I love with these Marvel shows is that, yeah, you probably should watch all of them to be able to understand the lore and all the story and how it would all connect back to everything in the original MCU universe. But every show is so different than the next. Like, WandaVision was a really great show, and it was so weird and cool, but it was different, And then after that, we got The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was way different than WandaVision. And then after that, I think we got Loki, which is one of my favorites of the MCU series. And it was really good, and it was different. And then we got What If, an animated show in the MCU that's still connected, and it still makes sense, and it's still probably going to be coming back in the Doctor Strange movie. But it still made sense, and it was still connected, but it was yet different. And then now and then the Hawkeye show. And then was there another one? I don't think so. Not yet. No, I don't think so. The Hawkeye show was different as well. It was a good show. And then now we got Moon Knight, which is way different than any other show. And then after this, I think we'll have Miss Marvel, and then She-Hulk at some point in the year, and then season 2 of What If will be coming out. So I'm excited for everything that comes out with Marvel, but everything is so different to the point, like I was saying, like, yeah, you should watch all of them to be able to be into the story. But you can watch a show without not knowing anything about any of the other Marvel movies. Like, you could just know, oh, I know who Iron Man is, or I know who Captain America is, and Thor, and all these other characters, and the Hulk, and all that. But you can go into this movie, this show, watch a whole season, and it still makes sense to you, and it's all different, because, like, if you don't like the type of genre this one show is, well, there's another one. Like, if you don't like Falcon and Winter Soldier, you could watch WandaVision. Or if you don't like Loki, you can watch Moon Knight. There's so many different varieties now that it's meant for everyone. Like, every one of them is different. Even Miss Marvel, the way it looks is like it's going to be like one of those high school type shows, So it's like, we're going from Moon Knight to that. And that one premieres, I'm pretty sure, in June. So it's just the way they can do this is so good. And Kevin Feige is a genius. Like, the way he can do this stuff. And it was just announced yesterday that Kevin Feige and Marvel will have a meeting in the next couple of days, in the next week, that Marvel will be planning the next movies and shows for the next 10 years. 10 years. Like, Kevin Feige knows what's going to happen in 10 years in Marvel with just the movies and shows that they're doing. Trying to produce, 4 to 5 shows a year and anywhere between 3 to 4 movies a year. For 10 years. Like, this guy's insane. Like, what are you doing? But it's so good. Like, by that time, we're going to have like 50 different shows and 20 to 30 more movies or whatever, be in a different phase. The next Avengers movie might have already come out by that time as well. So it's like, I'm always excited for what Marvel's doing. But if you ever want to get into a show, I highly recommend you try to get into one of the Marvel shows, because they're all different. They all connect to the MCU, but each genre of each show has a different genre, and there's at least one meant for you. There's definitely going to be one that you're going to be like, you know what, I'll try that out. That sounds interesting, and then you'll be like, wow, that was a great show. So I highly recommend Moon Knight. It's a great show. It's awesome. I love it. And Miss Marvel is definitely going to be good as well. And then, not to mention, we got all the Star Wars shows as well coming out. Kenobi premieres in another, month. Does it? Is it May 7th? I thought it was going to be May the 4th. May 27th. So we're 4 weeks away from the premiere of Kenobi. Oh, that show's going to be so good. It was supposed to premiere on May 25th, which would have been the 45th anniversary of the first Star Wars episode coming out, which was A New Hope. in 1977, but it had to be delayed just 2 days. But instead of it premiering on that day, we'll have a new episode every Friday, and on that first Friday, May 27th, will be the first 2 episodes. So I am ready, and at the same time, I'm not ready. I'm just about to see this show because it's going to be so good, and I definitely think it's going to get emotional at some point with Kenobi and Vader and all that, So, yeah. So, check out any Marvel shows or Star Wars, anything that's on Disney Plus. You definitely should watch some of that. It's really good. So, with all that being said, it's now time to get into some questions. If you ever have a question you'd like for me to answer on an episode of the Toddcast, go down into the description of this podcast episode, and there should be a link down there that will take you to YouTube. Tap or click on it, go on there, and you will go to my YouTube channel. You go ahead and subscribe. And then on one of the videos, you can comment down in the comment section. Comment a question. It could be 1, it could be 10, it could be 20. I don't really care. It could be any number of questions that you want to ask me. And you can also recommend a drink in a certain flavor that you would like for me to try, a drink, a candy, really anything. If I can eat or drink it, you can recommend it. I'm not saying like bugs or anything, but like if it's a certain drink I can find or a certain candy I can find, I will definitely try to find it and review it. And I've got some questions and some drinks to get to here in a minute. But I got 2 questions here, and thank y'all for these questions. And these are 2 would you rather questions. And I know y'all know that I love me some would you rather questions. So first up, would you rather, and y'all play along too. Y'all can answer yourselves and see, and if you're with somebody else, you can start talking to each other about this kind of stuff. So just you play along, So would you rather work the job you have now for a whole year at double the current rate of pay, okay, or have 1 year completely off with no work, but make the same amount of money you're making now? Okay. That was very long. I will explain it if you didn't get all that. So it's would you rather work the job you're working. So the job you are working right now, let's say you are getting paid $60K a year. If you're making $60,000 a year, which that's above average for most people, That's above the US average. Work the same job you have now at double the current rate you make. So for $60,000 a year, let's say you work up for the whole for a whole year. So from until the beginning of May next year, you will make $120,000 for the same amount of work that you do for 1 year at that job. Or take 1 year off from now until the beginning of May of 2023, no work. You don't have to work at all, no job. You can sit at home, you can go on vacation, you can do whatever. But you will make the same amount of money that entire year of the $60K. So do you want to get paid $60,000 for doing nothing, or get paid $120,000 for doing the same amount of work that you've already been doing? And I'm just using $60K and $120K as examples. It depends on your pay rate. So you put in whatever, how much money you're making. Like if you're making $100K a year regularly, you can either make $200,000 for the same amount of work, or make another $100,000 for taking a year off. So, and it's okay. They'll be like, hey, we're going to let you take off a whole year. It's like a movie. If you pick the one you take a year off, your boss will call you tomorrow and say, hey, we've been thinking about you. You've been doing so much good work. We'd like for you to take a whole year off, but we're still going to pay you the entire amount of money that you would normally make. Or if you take the other one, they'll say, hey, you've been doing so much good work. We want you to keep at it, but we're actually going to pay you double the amount for the next year. That's what your boss would say. So, well, I don't have a job. I do this and schoolwork, and finals are coming up. But let's say I have a job. Let's put this in the big what if scenario. Let's say I have a job that makes me $100,000. Let's just do that. $100,000 a year for a job is really good. If you're making $100K a year, you are doing something right. Or if you're making that much or more, So let's say I'm making $100,000 a year doing work. 5-day job, 40 hours a week, and I'm making $100,000 a year. Would I want to do the same amount of work for $200,000 a year, or do no work but still get paid $100,000? You know, the doing the no work and getting paid the same amount is really enticing. But then you want to think, do you enjoy doing the work you do? Is what you doing right now worth getting paid double? If you're doing hard manual labor, or you're doing some type of job that you are just doing to get paid, if you're working at McDonald's, do you want to keep making a couple dollars an hour for for another year without doing the work, or would you rather get paid double and just keep doing the same thing you're doing? If I like the job and I really enjoy it, I would like to get paid double. But if I can make $100,000 a year from doing nothing for an entire year, basically just give me the year off and they would still give me paychecks. So if I got paid every other $100,000 total, even no tax or anything, divided by 26, which is half the year, I would get paid about $3,800 every other week. So almost $4,000 every 2 weeks. And then you got to think, if you take the year off, you're spending more money taking the year off, because if you work at a job that caters, you're not getting that free meal. You're not getting any kind of free food from any other meals that your business may offer. You are going to have to eat out more. If you want to take a vacation, you got to pay for that. That's not free. The only thing is that you're just not working and you're getting paid. I would do the 1 year off and make the same amount of money. If I'm saying that 100K is my example, and of course use your own salary for this question when you're answering in your head, I would take a 1 year off and make that money. Because having the year off, if you're doing a job, and let's say you work, a couple years, 5 or 10 years already at that job, and then if you're able to take off work for an entire year, but get paid the same amount, but just still get paid, that is the dream for a lot of people. But then, there's also the situation of, I can do the same amount of work if I like it and get paid double. For me, if I was something technology or in the media, like a media buyer, or do something in marketing, and if I made $100,000 a year and do the same thing but for $200,000 a year, just double my paycheck. So with that $3,800 every other week, instead I would make almost $8,000. Which would be nuts to get paid, $7,600 every other week. I would like it, but taking a year off would be nice. Most people, I think, would actually do the double your current rate. But me personally, it would give me more time to, sit back, relax. If it depends on what point in my life I'm in, if I'm married or have a kid or something, I'd be able to stay home and chill with all them, I'd be able to play video games, watch a lot of TV, and catch up on movies and shows. I would be able to travel. I would be able to do stuff meaningful and personal, and be able to get paid to do it. Basically, getting paid $100,000 a year to do nothing is the life for me. I would love to get paid to do nothing, But yeah, that's what I would do. I would take the year off. So yeah. Okay, the next question we have here is, would you rather fall down in public or pass gas in public. I would rather pass gas because that's funnier. And I have done both already many times. Well, not the falling. I've definitely farted in a crowd more than once. And I don't care. I don't have no shame about it. Well, it's always like, if you're passing gas, we got to talk about what type of fart you're letting out. Like, if you're if you're ripping a big one, you know what I mean? Like, if it's like from deep in your bowels, and I'm talking one that's like, you're trying to talk to the whales, like that kind of fart. Like you're, you know, like something's trying to crawl out of you that's already dead. Like if you're letting one of those out, like God help those people that you're next to in public. You know, like you're burning their noses off. They're gonna be like melting from how bad the stench is. But if I'm talking about like a silent but deadly type fart, I'm fine with that, you know, because it's silent, you know. If you let one out that doesn't make any noise, it's way better because, from personal experience, a silent one is way better because it's way funnier, because then all the people around don't know who did it. You know, because if there's like a little family over there, the woman will like hit the dude, and the guy's like, "What?" And the wife is like, "You just farted in public." And he's like, "No, I didn't." And then they're now confused, and she doesn't believe him, and then he's thinking that she farted and just blaming on him. Like that. And then all in all, I'm over there standing a couple feet away from him, and I'm the one who farted. Like that's the dream. Like, that's just so funny to me, that kind of stuff, you know. But like falling down in public depends on how I'm falling. Like if I'm walking and then I just trip and just fall forward, like I feel like sometimes falling can be funny, like watching somebody fall if it's a funny kind of fall. But falling hurts more, and you can, like, if you're old especially, you can break something easily more than just letting a fart out, you know, unless you're like unless you need to go to the bathroom and you're trying to hold it in, that way you're not sure if it's going to be a fart or something else. I would definitely choose pass gas in public, without a doubt. I don't like falling. I mean, I don't think anybody does, but like, if I fall on the ground, it's going to take me 5 minutes to get back up, you know, and it's like, I'm 22 years old. I'm not old, but it's like, I'm on the ground, and it's like, well, I guess I'm here now. Like, this is where I live now. I just live on the floor now. So, but passing gas can just be so funny, you know, just, it's so funny just to think, it's just hilarious. Like passing gas in public it's an easy yes to pass gas in public for me. So thank you for those questions. If you ever want to submit one, please submit one in the comment section of one of my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel. So with all that, we're going to go ahead and get you some drinks. I've got 2 drinks here. If you ever wanted to see a picture of the drinks, that way you want to go get them or something like that, you can head over onto the Toddcast Instagram page at it is THE_TODDCAST _. It is _Toddcast_. Of course, it is only on Instagram, nowhere else. And you will see a picture of me and the guests, or all the drinks or food that I'm trying. You'll see all that kind of stuff. So I've got 2 drinks here, and the first one I'm going to try is, of course, both of these are in glass bottles, by the way. Oh, that was nice. First one I'm going to be trying is, I've never had this out of a bottle, but I've had this out of a can, I'm pretty sure. It is glass bottled orange Sunkist. Now, I love orange flavored soda. It is one of my favorite flavors of soda, other than like root beer and Diet Coke. Whenever I grew up, I told this before, I lived off of root beer, grape soda, and orange soda. and orange soda is still one of the best made. This is just regular orange Sunkist. Of course, we all know it. I definitely have had it before. I don't think I've ever had it out of a glass bottle, though. So, and I've always said this, whenever, and y'all can think about this, too, is like, if you drink a Coke out of a can, or a Coke out of a plastic bottle, and then a Coke out of a glass bottle, which one tastes better? And why do you always think that it's a glass bottle? Like, we all know a drink out of a glass bottle tastes better than anything else. Like, the Coke out of a can is more carbonated, and a plastic bottle is good because you're able to seal it back up, but the glass tastes so much better. And I don't know why, because if it's colder or the glass itself is giving me some kind of flavor out of it. I don't really know what it is, but let's go ahead and try this orange Sunkist. It smells really good, too. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that tastes like my childhood. But not in a weird way. So, orange Sunkist is so smooth. It's just so good. It says the cap is a twist off. That's a lie. Orange Sunkist, on the scale from 0 to 100, with no decimals, with 100 being the best, I've got to give you a 90. That is so good. I just love orange soda, and orange Sunkist is one of the best ever made. I'm definitely going to be drinking all that later. But there's not really else I can say about it. It's just that good. It's a 90. And y'all know me, I don't give many 90s on here. And this next one may not even get that close to it. So the next one I got is from the brand that everybody loves, Always Ask for Avery's. And this one is called Toxic Slime. From Always Ask Avery's. It is considering a totally gross soda. I have the trash can here just in case. If I spit it out afterwards, I apologize for you hearing that. But if it's gross, you will understand. This says it's supposed to be blue raspberry and orange mixed together, which is a weird combination in my opinion. I guess that's why it's gross. But apparently it tastes like toxic. I like the color. It's very blue. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's give it a good smell test. Allergies are starting to hit me, so it's a lot harder to smell nowadays. And I don't even have COVID. Hey, it smells normal. Okay. There's no nutritional facts on this thing. Really? I feel like that's illegal. There's no nutritional facts on this thing. I don't even know what's in this. I can't drink this. Should be considered illegal, I think. Oh, here it is. They don't give me how many calories it is, but it's got pure cane sugar in it, so natural and artificial flavors. Okay, there's nothing natural about this. You can't say natural flavors. Soda doesn't grow in the ground. You can't say that. Like, I don't know why they always say natural and artificial flavors. It's just artificial. There's nothing natural about a blue soda coming out of the ground. That's not natural. So, I've said it before and I'll say it again. That's just not. I mean, all right. Well, I'm going to try Toxic Slime Soda. Here we go. Okay. It's not that bad. Shockingly, it's not bad. It's kind of good. Like, yeah, I can put the trash can away. I was very surprised by that. It's not as good as the Sunkist, but it went down smooth. It has a weird flavor profile because it tastes more like orange, but it's blue colored, and that's the blue raspberry. But it's so weird. Like, it at first you think it's going to taste bad, but then it's like, oh, this is better than I thought it'd be. And then then you swallow it, and that's it. And that was all it was, you know. I mean, I'm just gonna give it I'll give it a 76. You know, it's not bad. It's the aesthetic is affecting it for me. That's why, like, I was expecting it to not be good, and then it pulls out and is actually kind of good, you know. But a 76 is just because it was scaring me at first, and I was prepared for it to be bad. I was like, okay, this is gonna be bad. And then I drank some, and I was like, oh, this ain't that bad, you know. So Orange Sunkist sits at a solid 90, and Toxic Slime is at a 76. So, if you ever have a question or a drink that you would like to recommend to me that I should try on a future episode of the Toddcast, go down, like I said before, into the comment section of one of my videos on YouTube, and you can comment and type your question out there. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast only on Instagram at @the_Toddcast_ for all your updates and Toddcast needs. And tell your friends and your family to give it a listen. And thank all of you for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, we're just going to have to tune in to find out. Only on the Toddcast.